I knew somebody some years ago that God spoke to as touching who she should marry. She said, no, I don't like the person. Now, because God is Father, the benevolence of God will allow you enter into another kind of will called the acceptable will. The acceptable will is not God's will. It's your will, but God is willing to accommodate to help you go through life. The perfect will is God's own will, but you can choose not to go the direction of the perfect will. Now, if you choose the acceptable will, you can become a casualty. Your preservation now will be based on your discernment. So anytime you don't hear what God is saying, you can be in danger. Because God will now be helping you to go through life successfully. Instead of going through life on a cruise mode, if you are choosing the perfect will of God. And the person choose the acceptable will because of the kind of things she liked. So eventually, while they were traveling to see their relatives, they were on the journey and they had an accident and both of them died. Now, there's no way her affection would have seen into the future. Her affections were valid, but time placated that affection. She didn't see that boy's lifespan on earth was remaining 6 months. But the one who is called Alpha Omega, who is beginning and end, already saw that this boy is about to end his race. You are about to start. How can you connect your life with somebody who is finishing when you are starting? So what she did was that she escorted the guys to eternity. Meanwhile, the Bible said, pleasant in the eyes of God is the dying of the saint. So when the saint dies, heaven will rejoice. The problem is that you have left your purpose. I say this with a burden. I'm telling you, because on every side God will win. But for you to win, you have to be sensitive. He said, precious in the eyes of the Lord is the dying of the saint. So when they went to eternity, they were welcomed on the red carpet. But her own purpose could not be fulfilled. That's why I told you, this subject is deeper than what you feel. There's a wisdom manipulating this thing. You have to align with it. So the third purpose of marriage is for worship. And it doesn't stop there. Even when you get into the marriage, there are many things that will happen that you would have taken action based on your ability. God will say no. There are many times your wife will offend you or your husband will offend you, and the most reasonable thing to do is to analyze the level of her foolishness based on standard intelligence, or to analyze the level of his stupidities. But when you want to speak, God will now tell you that he is Lord. Even though his stupidity is glaring, you will now shut up. And even though her foolishness is obvious, God will tell you she's a weaker vessel. I brought you here to cultivate her until you bring out her best. You will now keep quiet. So that time that you are burdened is worship. The reason you didn't do what you had the capacity to do is because you respect superior authority. You will learn a worship that is deeper than song. That's when you will know. When we go to Zion and they arrange worshipers, you'll be shocked. You won't find singers. They can be there because that's one channel. But the real worshipers are not singers. They are those who submit to the will of God. They die there, even if they don't want it. A singer can be there. An apostle can be there. A prophet can be there. A politician can be there. You discover another kind of worship. Hope you know the 24 elders, they were not singing. They just fell from their throne, cast their crown, and said, holy is the Lord. Meanwhile, they were at the highest level in the cadre of worship. It is marriage that will teach you how to die. How to substitute your will. You are a very smart person. You know how to get ahead of everybody. When you come into marriage, they will trap you. They will break your will. And many times you will die because you will choose God over and above your emotion.